Hey there, good day to you all. And once again, we are back for Rotten Reelz Reviews audio review. We're up to number 18. And the week is just ending now, and I decided to journey to some nice, good old-fashioned Z-grade ninja zombie commando cut and paste garbled bullshit, so, I gotta go right to Godfrey Ho. Now, some of you might be asking, why in the nine hells am I subjecting myself and you, the listeners, to this cringe-making, life-taking utter torment? Well, after the last 3 suggestions on things I should review, I've decided that my readers and listeners may be made up of evil and should be punished. Now, for some of you gentle listeners that don't want to rock the boat or make waves or create tiny tumors in my brain, I apologize ahead of time. Yeah, so we're going right into some good old-fashioned Godfrey Ho. Now, this is a gentleman who brought us so many titles like Clash of the Ninjas, Bionic Ninja, Ninja 8, Warriors of Fire, Ninja, Silent Assassin, Ninja, Death Squad, Cobra versus, you named it, Ninja, Robo Vampire, Something Without Ninjas, holy shit, Dress for Fire, Born to Fight, Ninja Empire, and Power Force, which I really think is just some weird, loose translation to a Star Wars franchise. Now, Godfrey Ho is best known for taking films that have not been finished, or did not get a release date, coming up with his own footage of a completely different story, then using exposition to somehow tie these wildly different stories together with really, really bad English dubbing. And today is no exception. So we get to see an assortment of, how should we put it, lethal ladies dealing with a counterfeiter, which it all comes down to them having to take the law in their own hands. This is Lethal Panda, a.k.a. Deadly China Dolls. So, yeah, cue the Bowie music. So what the funniest part of our opening intro music just sounds like I'm attending like the 1970s Olympic special. I half expected Kathy Lee Crosby to come and grace the screen. Leading the fight against this crime is an Uzi-toting former rebel turned hit woman, Elaine. Maria Jo Zhongguai, Jia Shifeng, Li Jua, Twisted Love, Searching for Love, and Guai Jing. I'm probably horribly butchering, this Mandarin. Along with CIA agent Betty, or Sybil Who of Your Smiling Face, My Lucky Stars, Top Squad, Crystal Hunt, Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead, and Fatal Mission. So why would you go on that mission? Clearly it's bad. And prostitute / assassin Amy, or Yoko Miyamoto of Lethal Panther. Yeah, I guess you didn't really want to dive into that. So, to give you the base of this concept, we start off with CIA Betty, because there's no other way to describe it. I love that description better. Slapping a punk around until he ends up spilling his guts about the nephew of a crime boss that, that's the best way to describe it, Albert. Yeah, because when I think crime boss, Albert, that's the name that comes to mind. Or Loris Nyang of Underground Bunker, a Chinese torture chamber story. Ding Long, Zhang Rong, Dr. Mac, Peace Hotel, and Lieutenant. But enough of that plot or potential character development. Time for a sex scene with a full frontal nude. Yeah, by the way, that is not a joke. We're only 5 minutes into this flick. Boom. Already gotta apparently show the obligatory titty. Which I didn't realize that was even a mandate in a Godfrey Ho movie. Normally it's just somebody's head exploding or people falling over or, wearing Converse instead of combat boots. But hey, we overlook these things. So, of course, the guy gets offed after getting off. Driving away, just driving this Wakasashi right in the guy's gut seemed a bit off. But, our girl gets cleaned up, rigs the dead body with an explosive, or maybe the squibs were too powered, or I don't know. Ends up smoking the dead guy's bodyguards in the process. So Betty and the CIA plan on to deal with the counterfeiter known as Charles Wong with an undercover buy that gets so damn gun crazy. It's a wonder if anything good came out of it. I'm looking at this going, the shots fired forums will go on for like a week easily. The boss's little girl's getting ready for her big wedding day that ends in a bloodbath as Albert decides to have his dear Uncle Charles, better known as Charles Wong. Yeah, I couldn't even find this cat's name. That is how chopped up this was. IMDb was clueless. They didn't even have him listed. And if they did, maybe they had his actual name. But anyway, Uncle Charles gets bumped off so he can take over, rules the underworld, and each of the girls steps on each other's toes, all the while trying to get to the same objective. Will they join forces to bring down Albert? Is Albert his actual name? Could this dubbing get any worse? What about Scarecrow's brain? Yeah, okay. Well, so there's the interesting thing part about this, it kind of feels like there are elements of La Femme Nikita and John Woo's The Killers, but it's in really clumsy execution. Now, that being said, a lot of the fights and gunfight scenes are shot really well from handheld to like some straight dolly track and even just on a tripod. Now, that being said, I'm pretty sure he lifted some music from Halloween. Because, yeah, I mean, it's not unusual. It is kind of his MO to just acquire music. The choreography for a lot of the gunfights, on the other hand, felt like I was sitting through a Miami Vice episode. No one is covering each other, conserving rounds, or even flanking properly, so it's your typical low-grade action flick. And, of course, once again, they have infinite ammo. Now, I'm no stranger to the guns with girls action genre. I believe Andy Sidaris managed this quite well, and quite often. But even this is a bit over the top here. And what's more, there's like 3 sleazier than previous sex scenes. I don't even know what was with these sex scenes, because they just feel like they're forced in there. Like, we gotta have this, otherwise it won't sell. There's some decent kung fu and wushu fights. More guns blazing than the entire film The Killers. But the editing, it made it confusing as hell. I mean, towards this, I got the 90-minute version, and it was supposed to be 95 minutes, but I somehow doubt that those additional 5 minutes would clear up all the various plot holes. I mean, nobody can explain anything of the prostitute assassin Amy, or they don't really give her a backstory. Now, actually, the only one that's really well developed is Elaine's story arc. Her former rebel status, the fact that she has survived this otherwise gun battle. I think they were supposed to be in Bogota, but yeah, you could tell it was shot in the Philippines. So you're going, I don't, what excursion was this? Yeah, okay. And it just feels like her character is nothing more than Chow Yun-fat's character from The Killers. I mean, down to the level of his, I guess, really his essence, from the simple factor, yeah, he's had to do all these horrible things. It was for good reasons. He has, good intentions, but they were never made to proper fruition. And that's kind of what her story arc feels like. And she's toting more firearms than Chow Yun-fat did in The Replacement Killers. And if you've ever watched that, yeah, you understand what I'm talking about. A lot of the choreography was kind of just, it felt like it was forced. Not like the sex scenes. So apparently both forms of choreography were forced. Fights and fuck scenes. So that's a comfort. But yeah, overall, no, this is not one you would sit and go, oh, by all means, you need to watch this. Yeah, I wouldn't even know who to recommend this to. I was like, hey, you need a drinking game? Here's your movie. Get started there, Pinwheel. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But once again, if you have any suggestions for me to watch, a TV show, a movie, or hey, how about I do a review on a video game? I mean, I just got Mad Max, L.A. Noire. I recently did a write-up for Randall's Monday, which was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, so shoot me a line in the comments. Link the message on Facebook. You can catch me at Rotten Reelz Reviews. You can always throw a comment up on the blog itself, RottenReelsReview.blogspot.com. So, hey, yeah, give me a shout. Let me know what's what. And you have a happy